Hello, you're welcome to Gist Arena. All we do is gist. We discuss topical, trending, and exciting topics, and we have fun while at it. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy each thrilling moment of gist.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Gist Arena, where all we do is gist. And of course, I'm here again. I'm Ayotele, and Benike is here to gist with me. Oh, and by the way, Cynthia sends her greetings. one day, Cynthia will join us.
Cynthia will be
Agree?
back.
Okay, without wasting time. There's this internet sensation. The word. let me try and brush up small. What should I call her?
Exactly. Well, according to the people that have been moved on from heavenly race, they say she and her husband are Twitter dependent.
Okay. Well, anyway, we had a gist, about her sometime last year. And well, she made it to, how would I say it now? She made headline, social media headline news, or she became like a viral sensation, at that time because she had posted on Twitter that she wakes up, quite early, maybe as early as 4:30 a.m. or something to prepare her husband's lunch and everything like that, which is quite, come on, she's a virtuous woman. Please, a round of applause for mommy. All right. I mean, it's commendable, and why not? And well, I think what we discussed then, why we had to bring that just up was because she said she started doing that when a female colleague, her husband's female colleague, started bringing food for him to the office. So that was the angle, we were looking at there. All right. So yes, of course, netizens or tweets, picked it up, and the number of the male audience, yeah, they were really excited. They were like, oh, yeah, this is a virtuous woman. This is that, and everything. And I think someone, kind of like mentioned, maybe just asked the question that, wouldn't it have been better, if she stored some of these things, maybe refrigerate them so that she wouldn't have to, because I think she was even pregnant at that time, so that she wouldn't have to go through so much
She was
stress.
pregnant.
Yeah, okay, waking up, that early and all of that stuff. And then she said she didn't have a fridge, and maybe some other things, because I think, yeah, basically she didn't have a fridge. So apparently, they probably also couldn't afford some other, basic stuff and everything like that. And of course, um, netizens swung into action because that is what netizens like to do. Okay, started contributing money. It became a big thing. Even in organizations, I think, gave or gave the family, some stuff, and in a twinkle, of an eye, she upgraded. She and her family upgraded because she even came to say, oh, they've changed their child's school. I mean, good for her, good for her, good for her. And I think, well, I didn't really follow that story, but then I heard, recently that she also got a job, courtesy of netizens or something like that. So yeah, that is probably why they're calling her Twitter dependent, because uh, currently,
Those ones
whatever.
they are not on the heavenly race at all.
Because currently, according to them, her status was upgraded, courtesy of netizens or Twitter people. And there was a time she was, she didn't have so much. And it's not something to mock. So that's not actually the point of this gist. But then, just recently, I don't know the exact date, someone had come up with, a post. This thing, women who say that they couldn't share responsibility exactly with their
I'm
partners. Yeah.
actually, I'm actually looking at the tweet, so maybe I should try to read it. So Temi of Atlanta tweeted by about 30th of December or so. So that was 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And so Temi said, you're in bondage. Men must pay for everything. I can't endure with a man. I can't cook for any man. Anyway, so in response to Temi of Atlanta's tweet, Momzi shows them 3 laughing emojis. And she says, aside this one, Seth, once these babes start collecting 150K salary and they furnish their self-contained, bam, I don't need a man. So that was her tweet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and that was where the fight started. So everybody left Temi of Atlanta and faced Momzi of Lagos.
Okay. So yeah, and the angle that those people came from, is that out there she broke shame. Although I don't know if what she said was actually broke shaming, I don't think so, really, in that context. But then people, were like, hey, Emma Dawake, like, is it not you, the same you that they had to contribute money for, on social media for you to get from one point, of lack to a point where at least you have, and then you dare speak condescendingly about persons who are actually working and earning, a salary. So that's where the Gbasgbos, that's what the Gbasgbos has been about. And of course, because I have been, on some of the posts and trying to read the comments, and you'll be sure that a large portion of those who were commenting and were saying that, yeah, healing her and everything were men, because apparently I don't even want to go into that discussion because I have a lot to say about that. And people who probably deliberately put out some stuff because I believe she knows her audience. She knows the people that will respond positively to her, and maybe that's her own strategy of driving engagements and the rest like that. So I guess that's her own technique, and that's not the point. But my point is, like I said, I don't think she broke shame. Or Denika, do you think she broke shame the ladies?
So for me, I think the matter with Momzi is that I think there are some conversations that she should just sit out and not get involved because of her own history. So where the people that are dragging her coming from is that 150K that you and your husband could not come together to get as a couple, that you have to become Twitter dependent for them to be able to get anything for you. I know. So because of that contribution, I honestly think she shouldn't have accepted it because I believe that she sold her voice in collecting that money. So whatever opinion she comes with, they will always be tainted by that incident, to be honest. I have my opinions about the entire incident and all. And what some people were saying was that January is a month, that so she's already just performing for her regular audience, that rent money will soon be due. That's so she's performing so that they will come to her again. So that someone is going to say something, then people will now respond and they will gather and give her money again.
Exactly. So that the people giving Righteous Women Award will award her again and give her monetary.
But for me, I feel like she's a bit too opinionated for someone that how do I want to say now? Like if you're going to have all of those opinions, at least you should be able to say that I don't depend on this app or people on this app for anything. And then you can say whatever you want, of course, with reason all the same. But for as long as someone has given you a gift, the expectation is that there are some things that you should not be able to say to them because they are your benefactors. But then the guys are saying that the true benefactors are not complaining. There's people that their 1 naira was not there. When you are accepting gifts, it's not every gift that you should accept. And Twitter is a community, so you cannot say for sure that it's only the men that are defending her that gave her money.
Well, regarding collecting gift order. The thing
It's easy for someone to go back.
I'm sure she would probably not think, in that direction when the gifts are coming, like, oh, now that, I'm getting this gift, I will not be able to, there are some issues or topics that I won't be able to delve into and the rest like that. But then just even like I said earlier, I personally think that she and some other people, that stare the watchers like her, they perfectly understand their audience. They know that the larger percentage of the audience are Nigerian men who, have those line of thoughts. And so they know that they would always, have supporters or people rooting for them. But just like you said, my point, which of course I engaged one or two persons, on that post, and I'm like, she, I mean, it's not, it's bold. How did Jennifer say it is fresh? Like, like no. Again, it's almost like someone sitting in a glass house and throwing stones. Like, what is, you don't have the mouth in this matter. Like,
exactly. But let's even take away all of the
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 point
background.
trying
Okay.
to the condescending, nature of
Exactly.
tweet is trying to say that you shouldn't say, I mean, how can you say that you don't need the input of a man? Yeah, I mean, you're earning just 150K, and once you start, earning 150K, then you say you don't need the input of a man and all of that. And I actually find it funny, when people try to stamp this kind of, choices and opinions on people. Like, what is wrong if a lady or a woman decides to say that I can function independently? You know, I can be on my own. I can do my own thing without external input. What exactly is even triggering for people in that kind of thing? What
And
brings
I'm glad you
and
went there.
what cry and tantrums,
I'm glad
regarding
you
that?
went. I'm glad you
Okay,
went there because that's
I
actually where I
think I
wanted
will
to go.
trash that. We'll trash that just in a minute. Let me just, quickly finish with this.
Okay.
So, so that was the angle she was coming from. That, I mean, like, how dare you say that, you don't need the input of a man simply because you're earning 150K and you're able to furnish, your space and everything like that. And I believe that the people that are also responding, because some people were like, oh, all I see is jealousy, maybe people are jealous because they contributed money for her, or she now she's now in a better place, or she's now better off, or whatever. But then what they're actually saying is, really, you way get mad at that time before you became Twitter dependent. You couldn't afford a refrigerator. So how would you now be condescending to persons who are earning salary, whatever it is, even if it's 150K, and can afford, the basic things? How do you, I mean, how do you come and say, once they say the bam, they say they don't need it, but you that you had them, how is it that even with your man you couldn't afford fridge? Do you understand? Like, it's it just it's really funny. And that also still, takes me back to the fact that people, you are in a, I don't know whether, I mean, is it hypocrisy now? What will I call it? You are even maybe not, I mean, how would I say it? Yeah, some people are even worse off, or you are in a similar position to the people that, you are castigating and being condescending, towards. And it's just, it's really laughable for me. And that's, I mean, what I see about the whole issue. Like, this is laughable. You shouldn't be the one talking in that manner. It should be somebody else, not you, where then contribute money for before you and your man could afford refrigerator. So yeah, now let's get to what you were trying to say.
Okay. So what I was trying to say was that let's even take away all the background and the context. He was condescending.
Mm.
However, if you remember when I was saying New Year, same
Mm-hmm.
me, at least from when we knew her in 2024, she is she is what they call a patriarchy princess. Or some people say she has been consistent with that. And for me, I feel like the challenge I have with patriarchy princesses, some, not all, is that sorry, they have a need to put other people's choices down in order to be noticed. If I would say you need a man to do everything you need to do, that's on you. That's what you want to believe. It's okay if that's how you want to believe. I respect the choice that I need to get married to fulfill my purpose. If that's in your purpose and that's the way God has written it, it is okay. However, if we want to look at it from the Christian angle, Jesus Christ did not get married. Did he not need a woman? Paul did not get married.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. That's the issue. If a man says he doesn't need a woman, we don't hear shouts. Nobody will cry.
Exactly.
But when a woman says that like this, it becomes wahala.
Marriage is important. The Bible actually says that marriage is honorable and the bed should be undefiled. So I believe that some people take that to the extreme because I believe it was the same Paul. We don't know who wrote Hebrews anyway, but some people believe that it was Apostle Paul that wrote the book of Hebrews. But the same person was not married. And by himself, he also said that if you're unmarried, stay unmarried because there are problems that marriage will bring to you. So I believe that people like Mom Z take something that is good and they take it to the extreme. It's great to have a husband. It's great to work together with someone and to achieve great things. However, not everyone is going to get married. Not everyone wants to get married. Not everyone wants to get married yet. Some people want to achieve things, and God is fine by them. Because if you want to look through the Bible, we had people that were married that did great things. We had unmarried people that did great things. We had married people that were terrible people. We had unmarried people that were terrible. So for me, my big issue is a condescension. Both she and the Temi of Atlanta, they could have been having conversations without being condescending. So I think there was an ongoing, would I say, Twitter fight between the married FC versus unmarried FC. So I think that was the one that Momzi now came to chook mouth. And then everyone is now like, look at this one that is even talking. Somebody that we had that Twitter had to crowdfund for. So the basic conversation really is around, when women now have money, they substitute a man for money. So I think that's where she was going. I still think that it's a faulty mindset on both sides because money should not take the place of relationships. Neither should relationships take the place of money. I believe that I would say in Yoruba, maybe you help me translate. Toku opapomoti yawo. They are in two different categories. So for me, I think that
translated it yourself.
yeah. So I think the issue that both sides are having is that they are equating love with money. I think that's where both sides are coming from. So I believe that there's a point Momzi is trying to make, but she's not making it well. In the sense that even if you have 150K, it doesn't mean you don't need a man. 150K salary, it doesn't need to. And the fact that you have a man does not mean that you don't need 150K salary. They don't.
This is how I'm probably looking at it. Like, there's this pervasive mindset that women need to depend on men financially, particularly, and then maybe, for other things. And of course, we have entitled women who also popularize that mindset, popularized in the sense that, they are entitled behavior, when maybe they're in a relationship and all of that, expecting that the man becomes their ATM or something like that. So it also reinforces that mindset. Okay, but then I think it's also a wrong mindset. I think that a woman can function independently. She can functionally exist without, an external input or the input of a man. Now, I believe that both genders need each other, each other in diverse degrees and all of that. Because I mean, if we put financial needs aside, there are emotional needs, and a whole lot of that. And in fact, I feel that this mindset also sometimes feeds into why, for instance, a man, as a wife, and thinks that all he needs to do to meet her need is to provide money, and then doesn't necessarily care about her emotional needs, or other needs, simply because of this mindset that is what, I mean, a woman cannot function or cannot exist, particularly financially, without the input of a man. She cannot be financially independent. That is what I think. For me, that's where I am, looking at it from. So, because, and I'm looking at it from that angle because there's money involved, because she came and quoted, an amount that once they are making, this mega, according to her, she didn't say mega, but I mean, the way she said it, where you can say that 150, what is 150K in this economic concept, and all of that. So once they are making this amount now, they will just say, I don't need a man. I don't need a man in the sense that they may not be saying that I don't need to be in a relationship or settle, down, but then just trying to say that I can functionally exist, I can, be independent, I can make my own decisions, and all of that without, the necessary input of a man. And I still don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, why must a woman be dependent? That is my issue. Why? Because I mean, if God created us, and he created, everyone was created the same. Everybody, like I always say, apart from Adam and Eve, every other person that came into this world came through Eve, and came through the same process of fertilization, blah 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 blah, and all of that. So everyone, is practically the same on that level. And if God has given all of us functional brains, you have hands, you have legs, and everything you can think, why should one gender be dependent on the other gender, for sustenance? That is where I am looking at it from. And I still do not understand why there's always, an outcry, why people get triggered, and they start throwing tantrums because somebody says that I do not have to be dependent on another person to functionally exist. That's the angle I am looking at it from.
Yeah, so and I believe that angle is a masterclass on its own, really. Because I believe that one problem that we have generally as the human race generally is that we believe that one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not true. So, for example, based on your purpose and what you were sent to do on earth, you may not need to get married. Or so not to say that you will not need a man, but maybe not a husband for you to fulfill the purpose that you were sent for. But it could very well be that for me, Adenike, I need a man because of my purpose for me to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be coming at you from the perspective of my purpose, and I'm not understanding that you were built differently. My reference is always the Bible, and I believe it was Jesus that said that some people were born to be eunuchs, and some were made to be eunuchs. So some people do not even have those sexual urges that we keep saying are the reasons why people should get married. So we pressure people like that, for example, to get married, and then they are frustrating their spouse because we've pressured them to go and do what they are really not supposed to do. So that's why I said it's a whole masterclass when we want. So for me, I feel like both sides of the conversation are they are bringing something, but because they have not learned to engage respectfully, they have degraded the conversation to insults. Because, and I would like to start from the Temi of Atlanta's tweet. It was supposed to be an insult to the other side of the conversation. That was, and then Momdi keyed into her insult and continued with the condescension. But they probably have a perspective that they are trying to bring out that they have not said well because they did not engage respectfully. And then on top of the fact that we already have beef for Momzi, so she just set herself up for the drags. And then, of course, people on her side of the FC also want to defend their side. But then that's what makes Twitter Twitter. Welcome, Jennifer, also known as JP. Welcome. We are just finishing off Momzi's gist. and I'm sure you will bring an interesting perspective to it.
Jennifer, you're welcome. I already referenced you a little bit, because you were the one that said what she said is fresh or something like that. So what do you have to say about this Gbasgbos, Mumsy Gbasgbos and stuff like that?
Well, as much as I got the point she was trying to make, her point was valid. However, the clause that she made in her point was what threw myself off and a lot of people. Because as much as I understand what she was trying to say, that okay, that when women get a certain level of comfort, material wise or finance wise, they feel like they don't need men. I get her point. But the fact that she said when they start earning 150K, has she in her life earned 150K? Since she became, it's true now.
That,
Has she in her life earned 150K? In fact, I'm even reaching. That's why I even brought it down to 100,000 naira in her entire existence. Before Twitter people helped her life, has she and her husband combined earned 100,000 naira? Because she's not she has no, should I say, moral standing? I think she has no moral standing to judge people who earn a certain amount of money, or who earn within a certain tax bracket, to start castigating them or saying all sorts. She doesn't have any rights at all, because she has never earned that. If Twitter people did not come to her aid, she wouldn't be where she is currently. I admit that luck shone on her, God's grace and mercy is involved, or was involved, but no. Coming from someone who had to be waking up to cook for her husband that they were about to snatch away because of food. Come on, no. It's not. She has no rights. Nothing at
Mumsy
all.
will never ever live down that's if I were her, I'll go and return you people's money and contributions, because she can never.
She can't return the money. She can't return the money. How does she want? Where does she want to start from? Is it the endorsement deals? What is it? The house? Is it the clothing? Is it the food that were contributed massively for her? Is it the house appliances? She can't. There's no way. She's forever indebted to a certain caliber of people, and she will continue to dance to their tune whether she likes it or not. What she's currently doing now is appealing to the mind of those people who have helped her out. So she's appealing to, and she will constantly continue to do that, so that just in case, nobody hopes to fall from grace to grass, but just in case she happens to be, just like the ladder analogy, that when you're on your way up, you appeal to certain people, so that if for whatever reason you seem to be falling, they'll give you that pushback up. But that's what she's doing. That's what she's doing.
But even in doing that, I think that one can be sensible, because the truth is, the social media space is, I mean, there's so much going on, and there are times that you have opinions or views that are downright, you even know that, coming from women now, that that this one don't even make sense and all of that. She can jump on those ones, and she will still maintain status or whatever it is. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But
yes,
now
I get.
being condescending just simply because you want it, that's where the issue is for me. It's not as if she cannot, because she's, Twitter people helped her and all of that she cannot have opinions and all of that. But even if you're going to have an opinion where you think, or you want to say something that you think the people that helped you, would like to hear and everything, let it be something sensible, that even any sensible person knows that what you have said, is sensible or is logical. Not that you will just come and be flying all over the place, being condescending. But then I think I already said that that's how she had always been, even before the whole Twitter contribution and stuff. So
it's because she's a pick me. She has been a pick me, and she's a pick me,
so
like I would.
so it paid off, at some point. That's why she ran into, luck and everything. Because, like I have mentioned, I think people like that, they know their audience. They know their audience. They know what the audience wants to hear, and so they put it out there, hoping that at some point, it will generate some sort of whatever they are looking for them. Anyway, that's that about Mom Z. And so we are wrapping this up in a bit. All I would say regarding this is that I think if people's choices, are not directly affecting you or harming you or, stuff, we should allow people. I mean, all this outcry, tantrums that people, throw on social media simply because someone has made, a choice to either be independent or be single or be married or what have you. Let people
Well,
be. That's what
yeah,
I think.
the thing is to let people be, because in all honesty, anybody that has chosen that, okay, whether they are earning 150,000 naira or 1.5 million naira, they are providing their basic needs by themselves,
Yeah,
and they do not need anybody to
an external
finance
input.
them. They've earned that bragging rights, in my opinion. They earned
Yeah,
that bragging right. So mommy, that's why people, the people that came at Mommy Z, that's why they came at her. They earned that bragging
exactly.
right. They do not need, because let's be honest with ourselves. A lot of men out there today, they only, not all of them, a lot of them feel that provided they have the financial capabilities to, provide for you, they don't need to come correct in every other aspect.
Yeah,
They feel
that's
like, okay,
exactly what I was saying.
once they can buy one or two things for you, they feel like when they can buy one or two things for you, they've gained your loyalty.
Mhm,
So when
mhm.
women who see themselves as valuable, who have placed some sort of value on themselves, when they are able to provide these things that the men feel like they are supposed to, or they are doing for you to earn your loyalty, trust, and commitment, what else are they bringing to the table aside the money? Okay, now I have my money, so what else are you bringing?
Mm,
Do you
okay.
get the point?
Maybe
I
they'll
have
give
my
us an.
money now, so what else are you bringing? If you're not also going to bring equal commitment, if you're not also going to bring loyalty, if you're not also going to bring peace of mind or whatever to the table, then what am I doing with you? That's another angle where people were coming from to attack her again. Do you get?
Yeah.
Because these women who have then decided, okay, fine, you are trying to subject, or the men folks that were trying to subject them a certain kind of way simply because they were providing financially. Okay, now I'm providing financially for myself. What else can you do? So it was as if Momizi was also attacking those women who are providing financially for themselves.
Yes, now. That was
Forgetting
what it
that,
was. She was not
forgetting
concerning them.
forgetting that even she herself was unable to provide for herself. Her husband was
Even
unable to
even
provide
with
for the both of them.
their
If
men,
not that she came to Twitter to beg, because yes, that was what she did. She came to Twitter to beg, and then people decided to, lock Sean her way, and then people decided to have mercy on her through God. God decided to have mercy on her through people, and they started contributing for her. She felt she was at the verge of even losing her husband, because even the husband could not even provide anything for her, not even the finance that those women are looking for. And you now see women who are then providing for themselves, and you are calling them out and telling them that they are forming Miss Independent or what. No, let them drag her by her edges. If she has any, she doesn't even have edges safe to drag. So
well, anyway, like I had mentioned, let independent people be independent people. Let them be like, how
Let
is it?
independent people breathe. Let
yes,
them
so
breathe.
Breathe.
let us breathe.
Do not suffocate them, because I really do not understand why it is triggering, for some persons that someone has chosen to be independent. Why do you need someone to depend on you? I have
Yeah,
a lot of
so
questions about these things, because I'm like, why do you want to, one, for instance, control another human being? Why do you want to subjugate another human being? Why do you need someone to be dependent on? Isn't it freedom that someone is not trying to, depend on you for their existence.
It's even the double standards for me, because they are still the one that said women are not bringing anything to the table, that they're just coming that they are being dependent. They'll still go and work for their money. You still complain. If they say, okay, fine, let us go back to this thing, they will say, if you know Sako, if you know who go pay for a wig. That song is so triggering. Like, what sort of rubbish talk is that? That if she does not offer sex, she's not going to be able to afford basic things like wigs and handbag. Like, who does that? So women have chosen now, okay, fine, keep your wig. I will buy my wig and I'll buy my handbag by myself. Mommy Z came and said they were doing too much. Beg, she should take several seats.
Okay, so can I jump on that, JC? What I want to jump on is that the challenge is that because things have been skewed, we've equated money with love. So men that have bad character, the only thing they can afford is money. They don't have good character. Then you now go and make that money. So what are they going to now bring to the table? So they have to work on their self-esteem to make sure that you feel bad for having money, so that you will take them with their bad character. And so it's an ecosystem that is being fed, and it's all messed up. So for me, to round up, what I would just say is that I think everyone should come to the table with throw away their preconceived notion. Everyone should come with the intent to understand and not to condescend, because Mumsy, you're not better than other people. And to the people on the other side, that it's about the money and all of that, because I know that there are some extremists that are making it all about the money. You also have to step back and ask yourself, really, am I equating love with money? I think that's for me, that's bringing things is terrible reductionism for you to say that, oh, once I have 150K or 1.5 million, I don't need a man. I don't think that's a good way to look at it. If you don't need a man, it's because you don't need a man. It's not about the money you have or you don't have. Really, it should be about the fact that, oh, based on my principles, my purpose, I don't think I need to get married. It shouldn't be because I can afford 150K, and then therefore I can afford my needs. That means that what you're saying is that the only thing the man brings to the table is to pay your bills. But we know that that's not true. So I think that the people on the other side also need to step back and really recalibrate and ask, what exactly am I saying? What am I saying in this conversation? And so for me,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, please go on.
I think I'm sorry to interrupt you, but from what I'm not saying 100% because I don't have the figures, but the truth is that from a number of stuff that we have seen, we have read, that is usually the mindset. I have mentioned it before. The mindset is, once I provide financially, that's what I am supposed to. That's the only thing I'm supposed to do. Your emotional needs, and just like Jennifer was saying, like, are you bringing the same quality, maybe of loyalty, of sincerity, of peace of mind, of respect, regard, honor? Most times, or no, let me not say most times, like I don't, but a number of times, the outlook from things that I have personally, seen around and all of that, the outlook is the only thing I am supposed to provide is financial, what is it now? Yeah, make financial provisions. Once I do that, then I can do whatever the heck I feel like doing. And I think that's the mindset that should be corrected at the end of the day.
So yeah, I hear you. But then that's why I was saying that both sides need to go back and ask themselves, what are we really saying? Are we equating money with love? In that case, it's wrong. Because like you've rightly noted, even the person that is bringing, I remember that I once had a boss. Well, it wasn't my boss, but when we were working for their company, he was the manager in charge. And that they had asked him that, how are you? How is the family doing? And he said, oh, when I asked them this morning, they said they were okay. But I usually ask them, I usually go back to ask them every time that, are we good? Are we together? Because I may be thinking that they're happy and they're not. And for me, it showed a level of emotional intelligence that unfortunately not many men and women have. So the unfortunate thing is that maybe because of the poverty in the land, I don't know, a lot of people feel like once money is involved, you can do whatever you like. And it's on both sides, both women and men. So sometimes you see some of those silly posts where they'll ask you that, oh, this man says he wants to bring in a second wife, but that he's going to credit you with 500 million naira. Should he bring in the second wife? So I don't know if you've seen all those types of things. It's coming from the fundamental thing about equating money with love. And I think that for me is where the flaw that needs to be addressed is. Money does not equate love. You can have all the money in the world and not have the love you need. And if you have all the love and you don't have money, you will have problems too.
All right. I don't know if Jennifer has anything to chip in before we conclude, please.
And like I would always say, she'll be all right. And if she likes, she should still not be all right. The people that she's slicking today, or feels like she wants to get in their good books, or maybe that's just how she is, they might turn on her tomorrow, because Twitter people, they don't have friends and they don't have enemies. If your views align with their views today, they'll be on your side. And if it doesn't tomorrow, they will drag you. They can drag anybody. So whatever it is that anybody is doing, especially online, you just make sure that you're just doing it based off of your personal principles, morals, and your view about life. In fact, I strongly believe that not all topics, you don't have to contribute on all topics.
Very well said.
Even if you have an idea or you have an opinion, there's some things you should just sit out, because like we said, Twitter people will be Twitter people. They will always remind us that they bought our fridge. So there's some things that even if you have an opinion, just sit it out. Don't even talk. Or maybe you can even discuss with your immediate family and friends that you know that regardless of what may be, they are not going to. They're going to tell you the truth as it is. Then if you see that, okay, they actually see that whatever it is your contribution is makes sense ahead, then you can go ahead and post. Except maybe you've grown a thick skin and don't really give a rat's ass about anybody's opinion of your own opinion. Parolo. Otherwise, she doesn't have to jump on every topic, and that applies to everybody.
To everybody, exactly. It applies to everybody. There are times I scroll on online and I'm like, oh, I want to say this. I just tell myself,
I'll just keep quiet because no, it's not everything that you contribute. Sometimes you just say you say your mind to yourself, you know what you are thinking, but you type it and start I just even save myself the stress.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah, and sometimes you type, then you delete.
I don't think you were saying something.
I said sometimes you type, then you delete.
Oh, plenty times.
You type and put it in your notes. Then post it next day.
Yes, so sometimes I even have this whole post, prepared, and I'll be like, well, face your front. It's not
it don't concern you.
At the end of the day, exactly. All right. Thank you, Adonika. Thank you, Jennifer, for joining us. And thank you for your contributions. And to our audience, thank you for listening to us. Please do well to like our post. Please, your comment. What do you think? What do you actually think, about what we have discussed today? And don't forget to please share our post too. And until we come your way today, say bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Gist Arena. We hope you enjoyed the topic discussed. Please drop your comments and let us know what you think about it. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Until next time, bye!